Hey, everybody. Welcome to Doomscroll. I'm Matthew Sheffield.
And I'm Lisa Curry. And today's guest is a very dear friend of mine. Please welcome Kaytlin Bailey.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
All right. Well, normally weekends, nothing happens in them in the political world. But Jesus Christ, this last weekend, everything happened, seems like.
Yeah. Well, they like to sneak an anti-abortion thing like under the radar late on a Friday. But other than that.
Yeah, other than that. So, I mean, just there's so much stuff to talk about here today. And obviously, the big one is that we avoided a government shutdown over the weekend. At the last possible second, the House Republicans passed a government funding bill. So,
yeah, but it's like a temporary, right? Through November or something. I feel like, am I misremembering, or is this every single fucking year? They're like, we're going to shut it down unless we get what we want. You work for us. This is ridiculous. Do your fucking job. Stop this.
I don't know. It's really starting to feel like I've got a friend in an abusive relationship, right? Like on the one hand, I really want to be on the side. And on the other hand, it's like, how many times do we have to do this before it's like, how do we leave? You know, like, how do we accept that this is dysfunctional and abusive and gaslighty and it's not getting better? Like, I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Well, we need to. Oh, I was going to say we need to deport them all to Florida and build a wall. That's my plan.
Listen, my parents live there, and I sign off on that. Make me need a passport for Florida, please. Make it more restrictive. You know what? It's making me crazy. I was reading that the point of contention for them was the Republicans didn't want to give money to the war effort in Ukraine unless we, quote unquote, secure the border, which means build the wall, it's the stupidest idea in the history of mankind. So much of it has already blown over and fallen down. You have to maintain a wall like that. You can't just put it up and like, you would have to have tens of thousands of hours of manpower and labor a year to maintain the wall. And also, are we going to cut through the Rio Grande? Like, also, that's not how drugs are coming in the country.
We just keep having the same dumb idea over and over again at every level of government. Like, I feel like I see it on the subway, right? Like, we had a rainstorm the other day that wiped out the subway system in Manhattan, and every single one of those stations had like 18 cops and a robot now.
That's like just gonna
bajillions of dollars going into surveilling
the trash
our
can
crumbling infrastructure.
Eric Adams has got to be top 10 dumbest people in the country. I mean, like,
it's not great, right?
Cops aren't even
throwing cops and guns at problems that can't be solved with those things.
It would make more sense to send a pack of lifeguards into the fucking subway.
Literally more helpful.
Or how about just put some fucking spackle on the wall? Jesus.
Right, yeah. Even minimal improvements. No, instead we got things to show commercials at you that are easy to deface, right? That was like our multi-gajillion-dollar upgrade under like Cuomo or whatever. He was like, what if there were just ads playing in the subway all of the time? And I was like, my kingdom for a map, you monsters.
It's also like, it's already New York City. It's already very noisy. Yeah. Do not add more noise.
No.
For the love of God. The subway is peaceful because all you hear are rats scurrying around and like the occasional person screaming. It's
meant to be a shadow space, guys. Stop bringing televisions down there.
Yeah. No, agreed. But it is the same continually stupid argument, as you said, Kaytlin. And it's like, it's like we're trapped in this sort of, evil version of Groundhog Day, basically. But part of it, part of it is that the Democrats never make the Republicans pay for this stupidity. Like, they never are like, look, this is the Republicans are doing this. And like, you see them post on Twitter, like some graphics once in a while. And it's like, okay, yes, that's a nice graphic, but probably no more than 20,000 people will ever look at that. So got to do a little more there.
I don't want to be a defeatist, but I feel like I'm finally becoming old enough that I understand my elders when I was a young activist, and they're like, nah, trust me, we're going to blow this one. I know it looks like we're right and we have good ideas and we can push them forward and we have a majority in almost every way that you measure it, but we can snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory every single time.
That's the
Please
thing.
don't.
We do have a majority, and it just doesn't matter. Like, evil wins at every corner, and evil and like unchecked capitalism. And I'm a highly competitive person, so I'm sorry to all my progressive friends, but I do enjoy capitalism because I like the idea of like having markers of success for myself and like feeling like I'm beating somebody else. Not even in like I want everyone to win. I just want to win the most.
Totally. It feels nice to have something to fight for, but like when living wage becomes too literal and we have people dying from dehydration on the street, like, you know, like, I would like, I'd love a system where we were all like, I don't know, chasing trophies or marbles or accolades or something, but like, we got to get together on this like food, shelter, housing, healthcare thing, or a bunch of us are going to die. Just basic human dignity. If we could have like a level of dignity that we are striving for. And it's like, it doesn't have to go beyond that. Don't worry. You can keep your gajillion dollars. We just want like a low level dignity. Yeah, and we could do that if we spent half of what we spend on policing, right? Those like under-resourced communities. If we spent half the money that we spent policing it, taking care of their basic human needs, we would get rid of 90% of the reason we need the policing. Yeah, well, there's that. It makes me think of my hometown. I'm from a really small town in Indiana, and slowly over the past like 20 years, they've taken away, and these weren't city funded at all, but they've taken away the bowling alley. There was like a huge gym that's gone. The roller rink is gone, movie theater gone. And then they're like, why are kids doing drugs? There's nothing else to do. Or are they just going to expect teenagers to stare at their parents all day? It's not going to happen. And then it's like teen pregnancy shoots up because they're like, well, I guess we're just
I was going to say, they can have sex. Yeah. That's an alternative.
I love being old enough to watch the news cycle shift from, oh no, kids are having sex, to, oh no, the teens aren't having enough sex. Everyone's chewing their phone.
I have to say, that is definitely the most bizarre thing to see people complaining about. It's like Republicans were obsessed with too much teen sex, and now they want more of it. And it's like,
well, they want more of it with their Congress people. Is really what that is. Matt Gaetz especially,
is a huge fan.
Who I was saying before, we were recording, I was saying he looks like that villain. What's his name again? We just had it. He looks like the villain.
I sent it to you.
The child villain of the Incredibles.
I can't even remember it. Oh my god!
You literally
syndrome.
The redheaded villain in Incredibles, because he has this huge jaw and a huge forehead, and then that weird soft serve ice cream hair.
Yeah,
he's
like Jimmy Neutron, also.
Jimmy.
So he was very mad at Kevin McCarthy, the Republican Speaker of the House, because he basically had to go to Democrats to bail him out because he couldn't get it done. I mean, like, and then so Gaetz says he's going to file a motion to vacate, as they call it, which is to remove Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House, and it is going to be, like the next melodrama for the next several weeks. It's like, again, this is another stupid Republican thing that they just keep doing.
Yeah.
Like you look at Nancy Pelosi, she was the speaker for Jesus, like 20 years seems like. And then by contrast, the Republicans, it's like they go through one every year almost.
I mean, McCarthy is obviously a bad guy and Gaetz is a worser guy, but yeah. I see no evidence that anyone is going to be making choices that lead to like a functioning system or government, or like it all feels like a charade that we're even doing, like our government. I'm like, what does that mean?
Who are these clowns?
What are you talking about? Are what? Doing what? It's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely one of those I hope they all lose situations for sure. And you know, like and if other people weren't being impacted by their asshattery, like I would be enjoying this with lots of Schadenfreude. But because like I mean, like, you know, they have been pushing this message for years, you know, Joe Biden, he's too old and incompetent, he can't do the office. And it's like,
no, you
guys are literally shutting down the government.
Yeah. By the way,
you're going to say that Biden's incompetent.
I mean, if this was a game, this would be fun, right? It feels fun to win. It feels fun to be right. But the tragedy is that it's not a game. And so it feels... Anyway.
That's exactly how I feel about Roger Stone, where I'm like, this man is extremely entertaining. Extremely. And separate of him ruining people's lives, I do love him just like as a character. I'm like, the man's got a weird Nixon tattoo on his back that he shows off. He's completely psychopathic. He dresses like a villain in a Roger Rabbit, you know, like...
Oh, he's like dresses like Penguin from Batman.
I feel like we missed out. We should have just stayed at reality television, right? Like we should have allowed Donald Trump to build like a reality television empire, right? Have all of these characters on as recurring characters, get uber famous, but like stop it with the ability to pass wars and fund missiles. It's not going great.
No, I don't really love the idea of there's not a person alive I trust that much for them to have, you know, nuclear codes and things, let alone
I like Kaytlin's
reality
idea,
show
though.
host. Yeah.
I have to say, like, I would much prefer Trump be in a telenovela.
Yes.
You know, with Roger Stone and, you know, like, and Ivanka could be like his daughter, wife or something.
You can commit crimes on camera every day and no one cares. Here's all of the narcissistic supply, but for the love of God, please give us our government back.
Yes.
That's right. All right. Well, see, we've solved what to do with Trump. Thank you, Kate.
I'm so glad.
Put him in jail, put him on camera, but take the
Okay, but you know what though, Kaytlin, I actually you keep coming up with all these good points here, and you're making me sorry, Lisa and myself, but you know, I guess we got to just give the show to Kaytlin at this point. But no, my question is,
we solved it.
We solved it. Yeah.
But seriously though, it is very fucked up and weird how I feel like Donald Trump, he lived the fantasy of a lot of shithead male comedians. Like he's living their fantasy life. Isn't that the case? I
forget which one of them, but it is somebody else's joke that's like Donald Trump looks like a poor man's fantasy of what a rich man is.
Yes. I've heard that a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's like Elon Musk is dumb people's idea of what a smart person is. I'm like,
right.
This man is.
Yeah. Well, at least it's good that he and Trump hate each other. Like I'm that gives humanity some hope for our future.
Yeah. Something, I guess. Just
a smidge.
Yeah. I guess I'll take
it. Hey, well, anyway, but so I guess speaking of Trump, though, there is a poll that came out last week, which I think is one of the funniest polls that I've seen in a while, which said that they asked Republicans, who is a person of faith in your opinion? And they gave them various people. So Mitt Romney, Mike Pence, Donald Trump. Donald Trump had more Republicans say that he was a person of faith than Mike Pence.
This is bad.
Oh, yeah.
My Catholic side of the family supports him.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Do they think he's a person of faith, though, Lisa?
No, they think he's the second coming.
Yeah. They think he's like political.
If you think you're God, though, and you believe in yourself, then technically you are a person of faith, right?
There you go.
Okay. Well, then I am a person of faith.
I'm not. Still agnostic.
I do think I'm all powerful. I don't understand it because it's like, you know what it is? I think that Republicans do a lot. Republicans and like people who don't like to be leaders, they just want to kind of follow. is they listen to what people say and not what they do. And not that he doesn't say anything that's outrageous, but like when he's like, oh, I read the Bible, and they're like, oh, what's your favorite passage? And he's like, the Bible one, the one that's in this book.
And that's not even joking. Like, you are not exaggerating here.
Yeah, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I will put into the episode my favorite clip of Trump.
Okay. You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book. And you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are, and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it, because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal, so I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into...
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible... The whole Bible is an incredible... I joke very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time. But I just think the Bible is just something very special.
It's so deeply personal.
He's like, I don't know, I like the chapter about rape. That's where I connect.
Hey, and I will say there is a Bible verse. My favorite Bible verse is Ezekiel. Do you know about that one, guys?
Matt, I would have no idea.
If you told me Ezekiel was an instrument, I'd believe you.
I know Ezekiel to be bread.
No, okay. So here it is. So no, this is like, this is a meme among atheist activists. So it's Ezekiel 23:20. And this is the verse. This is literally this is why the Bible can't be in school. So it is, there she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys, and whose sperm was like that of horses.
Oh,
that's in the Bible.
I think it was translated incorrectly, or
no, I'm commenting. There's so much incest.
I'm looking at
nonsense.
like 10 translations of it. It's all there.
Yeah. There's erotic poetry. Yeah, there's a whole thing.
The Bible is like one of the dirtiest books in the world, actually.
Yeah, that's how my sluttiest aunt tried to sell it to me as a child. She was like a big Catholic, and she was like, Kaytlin, come here. If you want a really sexy, really violent book, may I present the Bible? And I was like, no, ma'am. Nice try, though. Mad respect. That is the line, but no.
That is really funny.
Wow, I cannot believe anybody had ever done that. Like, that's
she wasn't
hilarious.
Incorrect. Like,
and I don't think she was joking. Was she,
absolutely right. No, she meant that very earnestly. Yeah, but she came to Catholicism. She was raised in it, and But
wasn't there just not too long ago? I want to say, like, within the last year, when there was a bunch of book banning going on. I don't know if this was in Florida or Texas or who knows, because there's so much book banning. We're in a great place as a society. And there was somebody that sued to have the Bible banned, like some atheists, because they were like, well, if we're getting rid of violence.
It was Utah, actually. And they won.
Yes. I love it. I love that.
Like, it's true.
Wait, where was it banned then?
There are no other books out there that introduce children to incest. It was banned in a Utah county school district, Davis County, Utah.
Wow, good.
Which I have been there. It's like a giant suburban county, nothing but suburban area. But they pulled that one off, and we need more of that. We need more brave souls, such as whoever that person was. But you know what? It's funny though you mentioned that, because the Washington Post, actually, they did a story a couple of days ago, and I guess I'll put it in the show notes. Let's see if I can pull it up here. So according to the Washington Post, just 11 people are responsible for 60% of all requests to ban books across the country from schools.
Oh yeah,
11 people.
God, I say this all the time. It's like almost a mantra at this point. Don't people have something better to do with their lives? I mean, there's so much out in the world. there's so much that you can experience in your lifetime.
Right.
I couldn't bother to sue somebody if they robbed me. Like it's just, who has the time for this?
All of these people, like every last one of them, and I know that like every generation has these weirdos, but they remind me of Anthony Comstock, who, because he hated obscenity so much, single-handedly built the largest private collection of obscene materials, which he would then like take around on a road show to like get different state legislators to like support his bans by first looking at like the largest collection of dildos and dirty papers that had ever been. I mean, like, it's just like, dude, you can't, like, this doesn't, from an inch away, you can see the problem here. So that stat about the fact that like 90% of book bannings are
you can
trace back to 11 people, you're fine.
Okay, yeah.
Then it reminds me of a stat that just came out of New York that like, I'm not great with the numbers here, but something like $67 million in settlement money can be traced to like 11 people on the NYPD that are responsible for like that amount of litigation related to
What
and they
the
don't get
fuck?
fired. Yeah.
No, they're all still on the force, and none of them have had to pay any of that money. That's taxpayer money that goes to.
That's the thing with the cops is like the settlements that people get from their bad behavior never come out of their salary, and then they continue working. I'm like,
no, we have to defund schools instead.
Well, and there's no, like, imagine any other job where you cost the employer, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you
millions,
let alone billions. Yeah.
Or millions. Well, I mean, depending on the person, but
up
to millions of dollars. Yeah, you would be out before the settlement even happened. Like that's
you'd be out, or you're in the Senate.
If unions generally were as powerful as the police union, we would have solved inequality by now. But
and also the police union,
it's the one
here
union
in
Republicans
LA,
like.
the LAPD is helping the studios do union busting. I'm like, you should be disbanded. Fuck you. Your union should be invalidated. And I say that as like a very hardcore union person. I'm like, fuck all of you.
They don't count though. They shouldn't exist. Police union should not exist.
No.
Yeah. So, but to that Post story though, you hit the nail on the head again, Kaytlin, because the Post story is about a woman who keeps 73 books in her house that she thinks are obscene, and she also has 2 children. So it's like these books are inappropriate to be in the library, but 73 of them all in one area are appropriate for her children to be around.
Yeah.
And it's like, that makes absolutely no sense at all.
It's so dumb. It reminds me kind of like Florida, is obviously banning books and banning knowledge just generally. I was just there this summer helping take care of my parents, and oh wait, no, this was afterward. This was after I left. So they passed the no permit for permitless concealed carry. I think that started in July. And then my mom went to the emergency room in August, and she's a real estate agent, and she does open houses alone sometimes. So I had her get one of those. There's these keychains that look like an outline of a cat, but you put your knuckles through the eyes, or you put your fingers through the eyes, and it's essentially, it just makes like a little kind of like brass knuckles situation. Cool. And I know a lot of women that have these. And she went to the emergency room and they confiscated it. They were like, these are illegal in the state. And I'm like, I could put my head in a fucking microwave. I'm like, what? We've banned books. You can shoot anyone you want. It's a stand your ground state. And you can't have, like, a woman can't have a keychain that also doubles as sort of a weapon. But if we're being honest, my mom's like 5'1", and she has no muscle definition at all. If she hits somebody,
but she could have an AR-15 in her purse.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for knowing my mom also carries a gigantic purse.
Yeah, it's wild.
We're the dumbest country.
We're just the dumbest species. Like, we spend all of our energy trying to outlaw the dumbest stuff, and we won't address any of the things that are actually happening.
No. The earth is on fire. We can't get to that.
We're banning immigration to like stop rape, but we're not doing anything about like priests or youth ministers or like elected members of Congress.
Or doing anything with the 10,000 rape kits that are untested or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
we're not listening to victims. That would be silly.
No,
Instead,
ridiculous.
Removing access to information from the internet.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what we should be doing. Speaking of porn though. God bless Marjorie Taylor Greene. What a fucking lunatic. Jamie Raskin had to, during an impeachment inquiry, had to request that she not submit any pornography on the record. And she was freaking out saying, it's a bathing suit. But Republicans' obsession with Hunter Biden is confusing to me.
Okay. Catch me up. What, pray tell, was Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to introduce to the record that could even remotely be described as pornographic?
Well, okay. Yeah. Because here's the thing. She actually did put nude images of Hunter Biden on the floor. Previously, she literally put Hunter Biden's dick into the congressional record.
While allowing Hunter Biden to exploit women. This is a shame. But let's talk about...
Chairman, there's a parliamentary challenge before us.
The point of order.
Chairman, point of order.
Who's the point? And we'll stop the clock for you, Ms. Greene.
Mr. Chairman, our colleague from Georgia has introduced before pornographic exhibits and displayed things that are really not suitable for children who might be watching. And
bathing suit's not suitable, Mr. Raskin?
Well, I'm saying I would like the member to be instructed to not introduce any pornography today, at least without running it through the chair
bathing suit is not pornography,
Well,
Mr.
we can't
Raskin.
see it from down there, so you didn't make it available to the minority before you started.
Seen it before. It's on the internet. It's everywhere.
You are submitting a naked woman's body.
This is a bathing suit.
And it has not been clear before this committee.
Glasses on. Do you wear them or not?
I have contacts in. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right.
And it's like all this stuff is airing on C-SPAN.
Right.
Yes, and it was on C-SPAN. So yes, that's why. Like he wasn't just like busting her chops or anything, because you never know with this. And she also sent it, and I think we talked about this in a previous episode, didn't we, Lisa? That she sent Hunter Biden's penis to her constituents in the email. She's like, look at this. The media keeps censoring this image. So here it is. Come
Which
look
is
at
potentially criminal. It's also so stupid because I'm like, if he is responsible for federal crimes, charge him for that. But like this, look at him. He's having sex with hookers. Who cares?
and recorded it.
Who cares?
First of all, I defend anyone that is a consensual adult paying another consensual adult. I think that is fine. And we send out a newsletter every week that's a roundup of sex worker rights related news. And we can't spell out the word sex or the word prostitution or the word strip or the word porn. How did this senator get away with sending a fucking dick pic? That's ridiculous.
I just got an email this morning from the Washington Post that was like, we're offering some free online courses. And like a couple of them were like, learn about how democracy functions with this, woman with a doctorate and whatever. And then one of them is take a virtual class with Mike Pence. And then it was like, and learn about his campaign platform. No, I want to take the Washington Post and roll it up and hit him in the face with it. That's what I want to do. What in the fuck?
Plus, I don't think he's allowed to be. Is he allowed to be in the room virtually alone with you, Lisa? I don't think so.
Yeah, no kidding. I should check because if I scroll down, it might say no women. Mike Pence and mother will be teaching.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that would be acceptable. I don't want to.
Really
I don't want you to
pissed
imperil his virtue, Lisa.
Yeah. All right, guys, we lost Matt. Unfortunately, he fell out of his chair and down a flight of stairs, and he is no longer with us. Computer issue. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. You can find us on all things at Doomscroll Show, and I am Lisa Curry. You can find all of my upcoming show dates on my Instagram at Olympian Lisa Curry. And Kaytlin, where can we find you?
You can find me all over the internet at Kaytlin Bailey or KaytlinBailey.com. It is spelled unusually. And you can also check out my work at Old Prose Online or oldproseonline.org. We send out a weekly newsletter that's a roundup of sex worker rights related news and also all of the opportunities to read stuff I wrote or see me live.
I love it. Thanks so much for being on.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah. All right. Bye.